Welcome back to Name That Plot, the game show that tests your plot knowledge. Skillful authors know that the key components of a good plot are action and conflict. Before proceeding, you name that plot, and then catch up with Dante and the Knowledge Seekers as they earn points for plot in this episode of Thinking Aloud. And now, here's the host of the show, Al Arthur.
Thanks, Johnny. For those of you at home, these fine contestants, Julia, Dean, and Jennifer, are getting ready to, audience,
Name That Plot!
I love that. Johnny, get ready to read. And as always, while he's reading our next passage, our contestant will be listening closely and trying to identify the key components of plot, the action and conflict of the story. Take it away, Johnny.
All right, contestants, for 100 points, here's Thieven Theo. Thieven Theo was fresh out of jail for stealing horses, rustling cattle, and picking pockets, having promised the sheriff he'd mended his flea-bit ways. But on the long walk from jail to home, he spotted something washed up on the shore of Strike-It-Rich River. It was the body of Carl Coote, the area's most successful gold prospector. Just downstream, Thieven Theo found a leather pouch chock full of gold nuggets. He turned the pouch over and noticed the initials CC. Carl Coote has a wife and kids, he said. But with his heart pounding, Thieven Theo imagined all the fine horses, cattle, and land he could buy with that gold. He tucked the pouch in his pocket and faced two trails. One trail led to Carl Coote's ranch, where he could hand over the gold. The other trail took him to town. There he could cash in the gold, saddle up his dream horse Galaxy, and gallop off into the sunset. Thieven Theo chose a trail and set off running.
Off goes Thieven Theo, but which trail is he taking? Contestants, who can name for us the pattern of action and type of conflict being used in this story? Dean with the fast buzzer.
Oh, it's... Wait, what is it? I thought I knew the answer. Let's see. Oh, I know, it's...
Ooh, Dean, time's up. Jennifer for 100 points.
The plot's action is a cliffhanger, and the conflict is person against self.
Nice work, Jennifer. And your correct answer takes you to the bonus round. For 500 points, all you have to do is explain your thinking. How did you come up with that answer?
Well, when I was trying to decide the pattern of action, I thought about the series of events in the story or the rising action. The first event happened when Thieven Theo was on his way home from jail. He found the body of Carl Coote washed up on the shore of Strike-It-Rich River. The next event happened when Thieven Theo found Carl's leather pouch chock full of gold nuggets. The third event happened when Thieven Theo imagined all the fine horses, cattle, and land he could buy with Carl Coote's gold. The high point of the story came when Theo had to decide whether he would take the trail to Carl Coote's ranch and hand over the gold to Carl's widow and kids, or take the trail to town, where he could cash in the gold and keep it for himself. I knew this was a person against self conflict because of Theo's internal struggle to choose between right and wrong. I also know that rising action and the high point of a story occur in both progressive and cliffhanger patterns of action. So I had to keep listening to see if the story ended there and left me hanging, or if there was a resolution to the conflict and a conclusion to the story. When I heard Johnny read, Thieven Theo chose a trail and set off running, I felt like the author left me hanging. I wanted to know which trail Theo chose, so I decided that this had to be a cliffhanger pattern of action.
That makes sense.
Knowing the pattern of action and the type of conflict helped me to better understand the plot.
Did anyone else notice that the action and conflict in the story were similar to what happened to our friend Dean? Let's look at him on the replay. Dean's person against self-conflict when trying to answer was just like Thieven Theo's tough decision between stealing the gold and doing the right thing. And just as Thieven Theo left us hanging as to which trail he took, Dean left us wondering if he really knew the answer. What a cliffhanger. Great job, Jennifer. On to the next round.
We've just learned about cliffhangers and person against self-conflict. But tune into all the videos in the Name That Plot series to win the big prize, Understanding Plot. Get ready to play and keep thinking aloud.